Hello everyone, Mercury's turning retrograde again on the 10th of September till the 2nd of October. What a retrograde transit this is. It's super powerful, one of the best we've seen for some time. Mercury is in his own sign, but his multicone office sign is going to organize your life and rip out so many things you don't need. In addition to that, he's aspecting Jupiter, bringing intuition and fantastic information to move everybody forward with their lives. So how's it going to be for the world and for yourself? If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. If the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's begin. Now, Mercury loves to be in Virgo, everybody. When he turns retrograde in his own office, he's got a job to do, a task to do. He's a bit obsessive. He's determined to sort things out that are simply basically in a mess. So you can be certain that wherever Virgo is in your chart, something there is a bit messed up, is unclear. There is unknown information and there is something not right that needs to be corrected. So Mercury is so powerful in his multicone office sign. You can be certain then that when Mercury disrupts things, as he will, virtually turning things upside down, he's doing it for the good this time. He's doing it because some amazing information, some amazing new direction comes out of the chaos. Why is this? Because Mercury is not only powerfully placed, but he is having a mutual aspect with Jupiter throughout the whole of this transit. Jupiter's mutual aspect to Mercury during this time brings divine wisdom, divine knowledge. Actually, it's almost mystical the way things will become known to you. Something you weren't aware of becomes crystal clear, and this is a blessing. Mercury in Virgo is a bit of a miracle worker, actually. He can unravel any knot in your life. He can untie the most intractable problems and situations. But you must be patient for this to happen. It'll probably happen after the combustion because, as always, when Mercury goes retrograde, immediately there are delays, travel delays, business deals go awry, financial dealings, market forces. It's all up and down, unstable. Avoid traveling if you can. Avoid purchasing cars, vehicles, and definitely computers. Technology won't work properly. Far better not to purchase something new. Expect communication to be misunderstood. Expect people to not respond to you as they normally do. Expect all sorts of misquoting. So chaotic situations do happen, but as I've said, this time out of the chaos will come a very special blessing and a real sense of purpose. At the end of this retrograde cycle as well, watch relationship misunderstandings because Venus in a debilitated state joins Mercury. It's like Mercury is in his office, combust now with the sun, trying to sort things out with the authority figures, and then a very dear friend, Venus is a friend to Mercury, comes in trying to disrupt things, trying to distract you. So relationships, friendships become a little bit fraught, shall we say, for everybody at the end of this retrograde cycle. In world government as well, when Venus and Mercury are combusted with the sun in this way, talk about U-turns. There's going to be quite a bit of revolving doors in government policy, but once again, it's going to be good. The new direction is the far more preferable one. Whatever you do, don't miss the combustion date, everybody. 22nd of September, 21st and 23rd are included. When Buddha meets up with Ravi the sun, it is a special and mystical moment always, but this time it's especially powerful because of Mercury in his multicone sign and Jupiter being in opposition. Around this date is the big aha moment. Now you know what you should do. Now you have the information you didn't have before. Now you see the new direction. Don't forget that Mercury and the Sun coming together with this mutual aspect to Jupiter includes messages in your sleep. Jupiter is the natural 12th house lord, Pisces, the bed, the sleep. So watch your dreams. Listen to your inner voice. You will finally know what you have to do. Do not be afraid to follow this lead. Now, to use your readings by using the Vedic or sidereal signs, please don't use tropical Western horoscope. It is not going to work. Read from your ascendant and your moon. Don't just read from the one. Why is this? Because this particular transit is very powerfully different from ascendant and moon. And I'll be making this distinction for you during the readings. Let's begin. So for Aries ascendant and Aries moon, though Mercury is not a friend to your Lord Mars, when he's in the 6th house, he acts powerfully in your favor, particularly, by the way, from the moon. As always, Mercury retrograde will bring disruption. For you, it's in travel. Avoid it if you can, especially foreign lands. It's going to be disrupted a little bit. And don't forget, siblings and neighbors could become another source of disruption and misunderstanding in your life. For some of you, worrying health issues are coming up again, and there is delays in your treatment, misunderstandings, and even misdiagnosis occasionally. But don't worry, it's going to turn around in a most miraculous way. Mercury in Virgo is excellent for the health for everybody, but especially for you. Now, Mercury is aspecting Jupiter in your 12th house right now, Aries. He's your 9th house lord. This is going to help you. If you are a student, disruption in your education, difficulties starting a new course, confusion, misunderstanding is all going to be there. But guess what? It's going to clear up in an amazing way. And after this retrograde cycle, as Mercury continues on in your 6th house right until the end of October, education goes superbly well. All of your work, colleague misunderstandings, difficulties with your health, misdiagnosis, missed appointments, whatever it was causing you frustration will be for the best. So expect your health to improve, education to go more smoothly after this Mercury retrograde, because Mercury stays in Virgo in a powerful position right until the end of October. Some of you may have pets, and the pets may be having some problems as well during this Mercury retrograde cycle. Once again, at the end of this cycle, from the 2nd of October till the end of October, everything sorts out, as I say, miraculously. Mercury is very powerful for Aries, as I say, especially the moon, to give you the right information to sort your life out. So out of confusion and chaos during this time, Aries are going to come out definite winners. For Taurus ascendant and Taurus moon, Mercury is a good planet for you. He rules your 2nd house, but also your 5th house of creativity, education, learning, and good fortune from past lives. Some of that is going to come back to you during this transit. If you're in education, definitely misunderstandings and a real sense of not knowing what you should be doing next on your course because of Jupiter being in this 8th house. You may feel like you're on the wrong course. Things are just working out so chaotically. You are not. Stay with it. It's going to turn around, like I say, tremendously in your favor. Your children may be having problems, disruption, even some health issues, some of them. And definitely family affairs become a bit involved because Mercury is your 2nd house lord. Miscommunications with family members will be many, that's for certain. If you are trying to start a family, once again, delays will occur. And most definitely, if you have interviews or promotion on the cards, there will be delay and disruption. Watch your finances. Don't go in for speculation, gambling, whatever you do with Mercury retrograde in the 5th house. He rules your 2nd house of finances. There is disruption, misunderstandings. You will actually find out something about your financial security, savings, accounts, etc. that you didn't understand before. And you will make amazing readjustments during this time. When Mercury turns direct again, 2nd of October, he stays in Virgo, don't forget, right until the end of October 26th, actually. And during that time, this mutual Mercury-Jupiter aspect works so well for Taurus. You can find new income. Job interviews are successful. You get help from your friends, and all misunderstandings are completely evaporating. For Gemini ascendant, Gemini moon, Mercury is your lord, and when he goes retrograde, you literally go back onto so many areas of your life and revisit them again. And this time, it's going to be extremely favorable. This is good for Gemini. You're re-looking over your plans. You're searching through your house to find lost items. By the way, Mercury retrograde, 4th house, lost items can be found in the home. It's very exciting. But of course, as always, it will send you into a bit of a spin and increase stress in your life. From the moon, though, it's especially beneficial. Moon in Gemini will find that their whole domestic situation and property deals and everything to do with sorting out office space and home space is going to be favorably impacted by this retrograde cycle. Yes, as always, as I've just said, chaos precedes the new direction. But after that, everything smooths out, and by the end of October, your whole domestic scene is revitalized. In the meantime, though, during the 3-week period, expect some delays in your property deals, in selling, buying property. All of you, have caution, wait a little. Something is not right with that deal. You need to stand back a little bit. Things get far better when Mercury turns direct after the 2nd of October. Same things happen in your career and your work situation. Something is not working. Misunderstandings and all sorts of dilemmas happen in your work environment, especially with the boss, with superiors. Hold your tongue. Don't say something which you might regret, which is likely to happen occasionally when your Lord goes retrograde. Stay patient. It isn't easy for you, but the whole career situation is unraveling for you in a most tremendously favorable way. Mother is also represented by this 4th Lord Mercury for you. So Mother may be having issues, problems. But once again, these will definitely resolve at the end of this retrograde transit. Now for Cancer Moon, Cancer Lagna, Mercury retrograde in the 3rd house is more disruptive than for most people. Especially from the Moon, a great deal of misunderstandings with your family, with your neighbors, with your work colleagues, with your learning colleagues, if you are in education, with your teachers, with your mentors. There's no end to the amount of disruptive miscommunication going on. And by the way, I didn't mention siblings, and I should have, because Mercury is in the house of siblings. So certainly sibling confrontation, misunderstandings will be there. The great amount of patience and forbearance is needed by all Cancer Moon, Cancer Lagna during this time. But it doesn't mean that there are not favorable factors there. You see, because Mercury is your 12th house lord, something secret, some secret information, unknown information becomes almost by chance known to you. Once again, keep things under wraps. Don't try to share it, discuss it. Think about it. Don't take any action until Mercury goes right out of Virgo into the 4th house of your chart, which will be after 26th of October. Then you can take action on this new information. Also, because Mercury rules the 12th house of foreign lands and is in the house of travel, aspecting the 9th house of foreign lands, foreign travel, any travel at all actually during this retrograde motion, this next 3 weeks will be most disruptive and uncomfortable for you, Cancer Moon and Ascendant. If you can put it off, that would be helpful. Otherwise, check your passport, check your luggage, double check again and again to avoid confusion. For Leo Moon, Leo Ascendant is excellent for you, and Mercury is in his own sign in your 2nd house. Generally right up until the end of October, financial situation will improve. But during the retrograde cycle, during the next 3 weeks, that's when everything unravels right in front of your eyes, and you begin to wonder, have you lost track of your savings? Have you lost track of your financial stability? You haven't. You're just going to rearrange it in the most favorable way possible. During the retrograde cycle of Mercury, avoid new business deals. Wait until Mercury turns direct. After 2nd of October, you can make the most definitely favorable business changes, which will be very profitable for you. Avoid stock market dealing, gambling, anything speculative when Mercury is going backwards. After this time, you'll be able to make the right investments. Wills, legacies, inheritance, family finance all go pretty chaotic during the Mercury retrograde cycle. And finally, perhaps most important, watch your speech. Mercury retrograde in the 2nd house of speech. Leo, you are very likely to say something you will regret, especially to your friends, because Mercury rules the 11th house of your chart. So keep your temper under your chin, as they say. Don't fly off the handle with frustration. If you can do that, this is still a most successful transit, Mercury Virgo. So when the direct transit comes, misunderstandings evaporate. After 2nd of October, friendships are on a sound footing, interviews go well, new source of income comes to you, and your whole financial stability is increased. For Virgo, Moon and Ascendant, are the knots in your life going to unravel? They certainly are during this retrograde cycle of Mercury in your own sign. Particularly for Ascendant, it's really favorable. But don't let yourself unravel in the process. Particularly for the Moon in Virgo. Moon in Virgo people find this a lot more difficult and challenging because it's directly impacting the Moon. And Mercury and the Moon are enemies from Mercury's point of view, not from the Moon. So it brings you into a lot of conflict. Moon in Virgo, take it easy. Try to get away from confrontational relationship situations and business dealings. Watch your health also, Moon and Ascendant, definitely, because it puts a lot of stress on you to have Mercury retrograde in your own sign. Health issues come up now and it makes you distressed. Once again, Mercury in his Multigon sign will solve almost all of these problems for you if you just let things pan out. Don't take precipitous action about health issues. Always get a second opinion and things will be very well indeed. As I've said, beginning of the video, avoid travel if you can, especially from the Moon. This becomes the case because you become emotionally distraught with the disruption. Virgo, you are a perfectionist, and when Mercury goes retrograde, nothing that you want to work perfectly does. Draw on your patience and resilience and you will get the great benefit of this transit. Good fortune comes to you from your partner, from your spouse, from your business partner, some of you, from your even close friends or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. Those close people to you are going to support you through all of this disruption, and they are going to have those healing words. They are going to give you the information you need. So listen closely. Don't get into contentious arguments. Friends are going to bring you out of this entanglement. Spouse, business partners, all of them will support you. So when Mercury turns direct again after 2nd of October, relationships heal, friendships heal, and definitely profit in your business will increase tremendously. So for Libra Moon and Libra Ascendant, Mercury, Lord of your 12th house and also of your 9th house, a great friend to your Lord Venus, is always favorable for you. And now he's in the 12th house of your chart because he's going to bring you some secret information. Now, Librans in general are very rational people. They listen to other people. They like to converse and get information. They don't listen to their inner voice very much, right? But this is the time when you've got to listen closely to your inner voice. Mercury 12th house will give you revelations during this period that come from within. Check out again what I've already said about the Mercury combustion period on this video. It's going to be very important for both Libra Moon and Ascendant. Nonetheless, it's not an easy transit for both Libra Ascendant and Moon. Particularly from the Moon, it's worrisome. Libra Moons get very worried, very anxious, full of anxiety during this retrograde period. And in fact, right up until the end of October, Mercury 12th house increases anxiety. Don't get involved in unnecessary contention in your workplace because of this Mercury aspect to Jupiter 6th house. You may be pulled into these quarrels, contentions, disruptions, but they won't help you during this time. Keep yourself to yourself, most definitely. Now, because of Mercury's powerful aspect, all of this transit to Jupiter 6th house, health issues will become prominent again. This can be unexpected health issues or long-standing health issues coming up. But the good news, Mercury 12th house gives you insight into these that you didn't have before. New information becomes available to you, helping you to deal with these issues. As well as the general disruptions I've spoken about at the beginning of the video. Check those out if you didn't hear them. Mercury rules your 9th house of education, so students will have delays, disruption in their educational course. You may doubt if you are doing the right thing with this course. You are. It's just going to pan out perfectly. Once you get the new information, help you need, you will be fine. Do not despair. If you have pets, small animals, they may be having some distressing situations situation as well. But once again, that will pan out with the right information. So many stresses. Take some time for yourself. Meditation time alone will help all Librans during this period. For Scorpio moon, Scorpio ascendant is very good for both of you because Mercury retrograde in the 11th house is mighty powerful to help sort out many problems in your life, particularly monetary affairs. But of course, all the disruptions I've already mentioned at the beginning of the video, check those out if you didn't hear, will still be there. The travel delays and misunderstandings, and for you, they're especially going to impact your friendship network circle. Serious disagreement, misunderstanding, lack of communication with a friend will cause you some tension and some distress. If you're in education, also because Mercury aspects Jupiter, Lord of Education, in your 5th house, there's some delays and some disruptions starting your educational course, causing you distress, which may be financial for some of you. Once again, stick with this. It's going to unravel miraculously. Same if you should have children. You may have misunderstandings with your children, particularly obviously older children, or they may be having sickness, whatever. Once again, it will resolve because of Mercury's strength by sign. You may have concerns also about an older child who may have something to tell you, which could be a bit surprising, some of you. For some Scorpios, there may be delays in hoped for promotion or in job opportunities. Interviews may not go so well and you become concerned. But once again, all these delays, unexpected factors, work-wise, are going to work out miraculously. If you miss out on a promotion or job opportunity now, a far better one will come your way, most probably before the end of October. So financial gain and opportunities are definitely there for all Scorpios. When one door closes, another door opens. It's very, very true during this period. Sagittarius, Moon and Lagna. Now, Mercury is your 7th house lord, relationships, but also your 10th house lord of career. He's very important in your forward direction in life, and particularly in your career. He shows many changes. Now, when he goes retrograde, it's all going to be a bit crazy in your career. Changes have already occurred and will continue to occur in this area right up until the end of October. Expect some unexpected hitches in these next 3 weeks in your career, in your job opportunity, difficulties with the boss, superiors, many misunderstandings, many crossed wires are going to happen. But because Mercury is so strongly placed in his multicone sign, it's all going to work out perfectly. Now, because you are so adaptable, you probably won't be too much bothered by this. So these changes in your career, these sudden, let's say, U-turns happening in your job place are going to work out fine for you. In fact, you're going to find financial benefit and reward by going with the flow. Because your Lord Jupiter is involved in this transit, Jupiter being in the 4th house of your chart, changes in your job or new job opportunities will involve changes to your home situation as well. They are going to go together. Some of you move to actually start up a new job. Some of you start to work from home, or you go from home into the office. These sort of changes will occur. But because Mercury is retrograde, nothing goes smoothly. Property deals don't pan out as you would expect. Avoid exchanging contracts if you are moving until Mercury goes direct again after the 2nd of October would be advised. All sorts of delays and obstructions in your domestic situation and your workplace. Actually, it's not going to bother you too much if you just let it be. If you get yourself upset, that's where things can become difficult. Because Mercury rules your 7th house, your spouse, partner, business partner, even very, very close friends. There may be difficulties with them, there may be misunderstandings, and this may cause you a bit of distress, but it's very, very temporary. It's such a favorable Mercury transit for Sagittarius. So take note of all the delays I've already spoken about. Apart from those, after 2nd of October, you get very profitable property deals and business deals, most certainly. For Capricorn, Moon and Ascendant, it's quite a difficult transit for you because Mercury is your 9th house Lord of Fortune, but also 6th house of conflict. And when he's in this retrograde situation in your 9th house, he brings confusion about your whole direction in life. This affects Moon and Ascendant, but especially it's troublesome for the Moon in Capricorn. If you are in higher education or on any learning course, Mercury retrograde 9th house will disrupt it most definitely during these next few weeks. You become really worried about how to proceed with this educational course, and a great many headaches will be there. It's particularly troublesome if you're starting a new educational course. You become full of doubts, uncertain of your direction. Once again, combustion date, 22nd. Around that time, you will get the information you need to make the right decision. A very restless factor, Mercury retrograde 9th house. You feel like traveling, getting away from everything, but actually travel now is very disruptive indeed because of Mercury's aspect to a difficult Jupiter placement in the 3rd house of your chart, because 3rd house Jupiter doesn't do too well. So travel now becomes easily fraught and quite distressful for you. If you can avoid it until at least Mercury goes direct, 2nd of October, everything will be much smoother. Watch out for some conflicts with your father, maybe 9th house, and your siblings, definitely 3rd house. Some difficulties and stresses coming up with these people will cause you more distress. Try to keep yourself to yourself and just ride out this period, Capricorn. When Mercury gets to your 10th house, it's so much more favorable for you. That will be from the very end of October. Aquarius, Moon, Aquarius, Ascendant. What a fantastic transit for you, actually, particularly from the Moon, you'll be surprised to hear, because Mercury retrograde in the 8th house of your chart. Yes, all the delays, confusions around business matters, finances, wills, inheritance for some of you, and sudden unexpected health concerns may be there. But guess what? They're going to slow you down for a really good reason. Certainly, it's a very favorable business transit long term, but during the retrograde time, during this retrograde period of Mercury, don't take stock market deals, business deals, financial changes, wills, legacies, inheritances. They're all going to become stressful, delayed, and unknown factors come up that will cause you some distress. Definitely watch your speech with your family. It can get very fraught indeed in this retrograde period. Mercury is favorable to you, but he rules the 5th house of education and children. So children may have sudden illness or sudden unexpected problems because of Mercury's 8th house transit, and your education itself may go through some challenging moments. Mercury is very powerful, as I've said, aspecting Jupiter in your 2nd house to bring financial gain to you. And this retrograde period simply slows things down to show you the right investment, the right business deal, the right educational course, whatever it is, where you're not quite sure. This delay will be excellent. Oh, don't let the early insecurity and confusion throw you, Aquarius. Especially watch your speech, by the way, because Mercury is speech and he's aspecting the 2nd house of speech. Watch what you say, because you're feeling confused and ill at ease. You may say things you will later regret. Pisces Moon and Pisces Ascendant. It's a bit tricky for you when Mercury, your 7th house Lord, is in the 7th house. It's a sort of weakened position for Mercury, and particularly from the Moon, it can cause you a little bit of distress and disruption. It's a bit complicated, this transit, also for Pisces Moon and Ascendant, because Jupiter is so powerful in the 1st house of your chart, taking part in this Mercury transit, as I've just explained at the beginning of the video. Wisdom is coming to you, but in this case, it's coming from within you. The key thing is to be honest and open about everything. You may be trying to be honest, but other people may not be. Be careful about business dealings. Don't start new business deal. Don't start new business partnership. Definitely, it's not going to work out. Started in this Mercury retrograde period. And relationships also. Are you really understanding what your spouse or new partner wants from you? You may not be. There is a lot of miscommunication happening with your near near and dearest over the next 3 weeks. Many Pisces then, this is a real turning point in the whole year, actually, I would say. Mercury retrograde aspecting Jupiter affects your career and your future prominence. You may have to leave past business deals behind. You may have to start again in some business situation, or some of you make a big change in your intimate relationship. So be cautious though in your conversations with your intimate partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, business partner, whoever it is. They're feeling ill at ease, you're feeling ill at ease. Words spoken now are not constructive. Wait until after 22nd of September. That's when the combustion of Sun, Venus and Mercury here will make things easier for you. They will have the upper hand ultimately because all of the planets are in the 7th house aspecting Jupiter here. So your ruler, your future depends on these important conversations with other people. Some of the most important conversations you've had all year. But be optimistic. As I've just said, the information, the wisdom coming to you will set relationships and your career on a whole new path. Finally, Pisces, watch your stress level in this Mercury retrograde period. Mercury is your 4th house lord. Disruption in your home situation. Your mother may have health issues. You may be feeling ill at ease, like you want to get away from everything, but you can't. And aspecting your Lord Jupiter, it makes it more intense. If you have health issues, you will get the right consultation now because of Mercury's powerful placement in the 7th house of consultation. Have patience. Take some time to yourself. You're at a real turning point in the year. Check out the other important transits happening right now for everybody up on your screen. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. It'd be great to have you on board. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.